Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a wild diplomatic drama that's blowing up headlines everywhere. It's March 15th, 2025, and the United States just kicked out South Africa's ambassador, Ebrahim Rasool, in a move that's got the world buzzing. What sparked this? Why now? And what's it mean for these two countries? Grab a snack, smash that subscribe button if you haven't already, and let's break it all down. First, let's set the scene. On Friday, March 14th, 2025, US Secretary of State Marco Rubio took to X and dropped a bombshell. He declared South Africa's ambassador to the US, Ebrahim Rasool, persona non grata. Translation? You're out of here. Pack your bags. Rubio didn't mince words, calling Rasool a race-baiting politician who hates America and hates President Donald Trump. Ouch! Talk about a diplomatic slap. But what pushed things to this breaking point? Meet Ebrahim Rasool, the guy caught in the crossfire. He's no rookie. Rasool's a veteran South African politician and a former anti-apartheid activist who did prison time fighting racial injustice back home. He served as South Africa's ambassador to the US from 2010 to 2015, then returned for a second stint in January 2025. This dude's got serious credentials, but something went seriously sideways this time around. Here's the spark. On March 14th, Rasool hopped on a webinar hosted by a South African think tank. Things got heated fast. Sources say he accused President Trump of spearheading a white supremacist movement, not just in the US, but worldwide, tying it to Trump's MAGA agenda. He even threw in stats about the US electorate getting less white over time. Then he took a swing at Elon Musk, the South Africa-born billionaire and Trump buddy, calling his recent moves a dog whistle to far-right groups. Bold moves, Rasool.
I think what Donald Trump is launching is an assault on incumbency, those who are in power, by mobilizing a supremacism against the incumbency at home, and I think I've illustrated abroad as well. So in terms of that, the supremacist assault on incumbency, we see it in the domestic politics of the USA, the MAGA movement, the Make America Great Again movement, as a response, not simply to a supremacist instinct, but to very clear data that shows great demographic shifts in the USA, in which the voting electorate in the USA is projected to become 48% white, and that the possibility of a majority of minorities is looming on the horizon. And so that needs to be factored in so that we understand some of the things that we think are instinctive, nativist, racist things. I think that there's data that, for example, would support that would go to this wall being built, the deportation movement, etc., etc. So I think I mentioned that. I think that there is also an export of the revolution. It's no accident that that Elon Musk has involved himself in UK politics and elevated a Nigel Farage and the reform movement in much the same way that it was instructive that on his way to the Munich Security Summit, Vice President Vance addressed the Alternative für Deutschland to strengthen them in their election campaign. And that then begins to say, what was the role then of Afrikaners in that whole makeup? And very clearly, it's to project white victimhood as a dog whistle, that there is a global protective movement that is beginning to envelop embattled white communities or apparently embattled white communities. It may not be true, it may not make sense, but that is not the dog whistle that is being heard in a global white base. So I think we need to understand all of that. Another discontinuity, it's almost that they are putting a supremacist insurgency against the incumbency, and therefore we need to rethink our old categories of rationalization, because in that category there are mainstream Republicans like Mitt Romney and so forth that are seen as part of the incumbency that are also embattled. And so it's an intra-party insurgency as well as a global insurgency.
Rasool did try to play diplomat a little, suggesting South Africa shouldn't antagonize the US or cock a snoot. Fancy way of saying, don't poke the bear. But that didn't save him. Hours later, Rubio clapped back on X with this: South Africa's ambassador to the United States is no longer welcome in our great country. Ebrahim Rasool is a race-baiting politician who hates America and hates at POTUS. We have nothing to discuss with him, and so he is considered persona non grata. Mic drop, diplomatic style. But this isn't just about one spicy Zoom call. There's beef brewing between the US and South Africa for a while now. Since Trump's second term kicked off, tensions have been simmering. In February 2025, Trump froze US aid to South Africa over their land expropriation law, which he says lets the government snatch land from white farmers, a divisive issue that's got tempers flaring. Then, last week, Trump posted on Truth Social: any farmer with family from South Africa seeking to flee that country for reasons of safety will be invited into the United States with a rapid pathway to citizenship. Elon Musk cheered it on, slamming South Africa's racist ownership laws, but it definitely ticked off Pretoria. So, how's South Africa taking the expulsion? On March 15th, their presidency called it regrettable, urging everyone to keep it chill and stick to diplomatic decorum. They're still pushing for a mutually beneficial relationship with the US, but Rasool himself? Silent so far. Same with the South African embassy in DC. They're probably huddled up, plotting their next play. Let's zoom out. Kicking out an ambassador is huge. It's rare for the US to pull this card. Even during Cold War standoffs or Russia's Crimea grab in 2014, ambassadors usually stayed put. So, this screams that US-South Africa ties are tanking hard. Experts like Patrick Gaspar, a former US ambassador to South Africa, say relations are at their lowest point ever. With Trump and Musk piling on the pressure, this gap could widen fast. Okay, let's unpack this. Why'd the US go nuclear on Rasool? His white supremacy jab at Trump clearly hit a nerve. Rubio even linked a Breitbart piece on the webinar, framing it as an attack on Trump's whole vibe. Rasool's past support for South Africa's genocide case against Israel at the International Court of Justice probably didn't help either, given the US's tight bond with Israel. Meanwhile, South Africa's likely thinking, chill, America, this is our business. It's a total clash of views. What's next? Will South Africa clap back? Could this spiral into a full-on diplomatic brawl? And what about those farmers Trump's rolling out the welcome mat for? We'll keep tabs on this as it unfolds. But I want your take. What do you think of this expulsion? Is the US in the right, or did they overreact? Drop your thoughts below, hit that like button, and subscribe if you're loving these deep dives. That's it for today, fam. Thanks for hanging out. Stay curious, stay informed, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.